Well, besides the things I make, I'm super into secondhand fashion. I thrift pretty much everything I wear. I have this Olympics jacket from the Atlanta 1996 Olympics. That's like my uniform. I love this jacket. I thrifted it in New York and I wear it like pretty much every weekend. I really like don't spend a lot on clothing at all, even secondhand. This is crazy to say. I really don't think I've spent more than like $25 on a jacket.
Welcome to Off the Hanger, the fashion podcast where we dive deep into our guests' wardrobes, finding out their favourite fashion pieces and the stories behind them. This week's guest is Nick Portello. He's a content creator and a fashion upcycler with a difference. He finds the most incredible, unexpected material and turns them into absolutely brilliant things. I hope you enjoy this episode. Nick, welcome to Off the Hanger. It is lovely to have you with us. I am super excited to dive into your wardrobe because, oh my goodness, you create some of the most bonkers and brilliant things.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Now, I love what you do. I saw your Instagram. You create incredible fashion pieces out of the most unexpected materials. How on earth did this start?
That's such a good question. Okay, honestly, it started because of a budget reason. I really love sewing, but it's not something that I do full time. So I really wanted to get into it without having to spend a lot of money because fabric can be so expensive. So there by my house, there are these liquidation bins where everything is $1 on Wednesday mornings. So at first it was just out of curiosity, like let me go to these bins and see what could possibly be there. And then when I saw there was like fabric or fabric adjacent things, like things that could be turned into fabric, like bed sheets and pool floaties and things like that. I was so curious what I could do with them. So on Wednesday mornings, I would drive there and just pick up all these materials and see what I could make into it. And then the fascination just grew and grew and grew.
And some of these pieces are astonishing. Talk to me about the paddling pool coat. Honestly, the paddling pool coat is incredible.
Which coat?
The paddling pool one.
Oh my God. Okay. I think you mean it's out of a trampoline.
Oh, trampoline. Sorry, I thought it was a paddling pool. It's a trampoline coat. Oh
Oh,
my
no
God,
worries.
wow.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, okay, when I got to the bins, this was one of my most recent projects. So when I got to the bins, about a month ago, I saw this massive trampoline just staring at me. It didn't have any of the legs to it, but it was just the center of the trampoline with all of these little, like little V silver pieces on the end of it that like the springs go onto. And I thought that was so cool and just so edgy. And my mind like started racing. I just had to get this. So everyone was staring at me, but I like walked super fast to this. I was like, no one else touching this. This is mine. So so I got it and then cut it up. I broke several needles in the process, but yeah, I could take it out of the garment bag if you want to see it. I have it right here.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see it. Your
Okay.
poor sewing machine just getting absolutely brutalized by your crazy fabric choices.
It really was. It really was. And then I brought this was like very heavy, so I had to bring it on the train and it was a whole thing. Ooh.
Incredible. I love it. I love the drama of it, just the sheer size, but also the creativity to come up with a piece like that, to look at something like a trampoline and go, do you know what? This is going to be the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's brilliant. I love this. We'll have to get some pictures of it so that people can see it in all its fabulous glory. Was this something that was in you from childhood? Were you always making things as a child, or is this something that you grew into?
Yeah, so actually when I was a child, I really was into cooking, and I thought I was gonna be a pastry chef. I think looking back, I just really love to eat, but I love the idea of creating something from like raw materials, so that kind of translated. And it was when I first saw Project Runway, which have you ever seen the
I
show?
love Project Runway.
Oh my God, it's the best. And I saw it, I think I must have been like 9 or 10 when I first saw it, and it just sparked something in me, just seeing all these people make the most breathtaking gowns from it was honestly the unconventional material challenges that always really got me. So I think that is what I really wanted to do. And then it was during the pandemic when we just had so much free time that I really got into it because I tried at an earlier age, but I just don't think I had the patience. When we had nothing to do during lockdown, that was the perfect chance.
It's a great opportunity to use that free time for something good. Is there an earliest fashion memory from your childhood?
Ooh, I think when my parents took me to Mood. Speaking of the show, my parents took me to Mood when I was like, I must have been like 11 or 12. That is like my earliest fashion memory because I remember just going into the city and just being so like starstruck to be there, like starstruck over a store and not even a person, but the dog. Do you know the dog Swatch?
Yeah.
When I saw him, that was like my celebrity moment. You know, Tim Gunn wasn't there, but so I'd say that's one of my earliest memories. But I also have a memory of just learning how to make like pillowcases with this cheap fabric that I got at the local fabric store of like sharks on it. I don't have any of the pillows, but I remember just practicing all day.
Oh, that's so good. I love that. And I look at where it's taken you now. It's brilliant. What's the oldest thing in your wardrobe?
The oldest thing. Hmm. Well, besides the things I make, I'm super into secondhand fashion. I thrift pretty much everything I wear. I don't know about the oldest thing that I have. Ooh. I haven't. I have this Olympics jacket from the Atlanta 1996 Olympics. That's like my uniform. I love this jacket. I thrifted it in New York, and I wear it like pretty much every weekend. So I'd say that.
That's an incredible piece to have. I would love to know the story behind that. So you thrifted it, but who wore those jackets? Was it competitors? Was it athletes? Was it staff?
That's such a great question. If I had to guess, I would probably say it's just like a fan jersey from the Olympics, but I really love the Olympics because I'm super into travel and learning about other countries. So I just love the idea of the Olympics bringing everyone together. So I really like to collect these pieces. I mean, I have a pretty small collection, but I really love the Olympics.
With your wardrobe, there are so many show-stopping pieces. I imagine that this one is going to be quite a tricky question for you. But what is the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments?
Ooh, okay. I think it's gonna be this piece. Let me pull it out. It is this this Jesus Vatican print outfit. It's like a sweatsuit. I wanted to kind of play off of the old like Italian Sergio Tacchini tracksuits, if you know those.
Yes, I do.
Um, so I wore this outfit when I went to Rome and the Vatican City in December, and it caused quite a stir when I went there. I was kind of honestly, I was super nervous to wear this. I really wanted to do something big and something flashy. And I'm like Italian American, so I wanted to also like have a little bit of fun with that. So I wore this to the Vatican, and I got stopped by the security. They said that I was so nervous because there was a huge line, and there's all this like these security looks so intimidating. They have these big guns, you know, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I hope they're gonna let me through. And I got there, and they were like actually super complimentary, and they loved the outfit.
Oh,
So
I
it was
love
like it was the best possible reaction. And I was walking in like the main square of the Vatican, and people were just stopping me, just asking me to take a picture with them. I felt like a celebrity for like 15 minutes. That was my celebrity moment.
it. 15 minutes of fame waltzing around the Vatican in that two-piece. That is incredible. What an amazing thing to have made, but also a bold choice to go, this is where I'm going to wear this.
Thank you.
Talk about making a statement. That's very,
Right.
very cool. I love this. Now, you seem like you're very, very thrifty when it comes to fashion and your materials. But what is the most expensive piece that you own?
Ooh. Okay, this is where you got me because I am kind of a frugal person with clothing. I really like don't spend a lot on clothing at all, even secondhand. I'm really just, you know, like I have so many pieces that I love to thrift that I really just don't spend a lot of money. If I had to pick something, I don't know. I don't. This is crazy to say. I really don't think I've spent more than like $25 on a jacket or like a piece of clothing.
Goodness, you've got to give me some
Um,
thrifting tips then because you are winning at thrifting at this point.
I feel like I go by the prices. Like if there's a really big sale, I'll be at the thrift store. My local thrift store has like half off blackout days, so I'll always go on those days. And yeah, I feel like I have too many clothes, so I'm super picky. It has to be like the perfect piece. I think this jacket that I just told you about, this Atlanta jacket, it was like $25. I think that was like one of my most expensive pieces, believe it or not.
What's your best thrifting find? What's the thing that you think, oh, this is
Ooh.
the best thrift I've ever done?
We have this brand. Have you heard of the brand Tombolo?
No, I haven't.
It's like a beachwear type brand where they have, like, cabana shirts and matching shorts. Oh my gosh, I've gotta pull this out. I don't know where it is. Okay, I found it. So I went to school in Boston for my university, and I found Tombogo shorts. And these shorts, these would be my most expensive find because they normally go for about like $100, just for shorts, which is wild. But they're made of this terry cloth material that I really love, and I really was so desperate to find the top to it, the matching top. It's like this orange, and the top has like these cute birds on it. So I looked online, and that would have been my most expensive purchase because I was willing to pay full price to have the matching set. However, I thought I could be smart back in the early days, because this was like a few years ago, and I got it from this like sketchy website, and I was like, it's only $25? Like, there's no way. So I have this dupe, and I don't know if you could tell from the quality, but it is not the same at all. It's like terribly printed, and the material is awful. So it was such a failure. I was very upset. That's what I get for trying to find it
I think we have all
elsewhere.
been there though. I think all of us have experienced one of those websites where you've seen something and it's like, oh my God, this is just the best thing. But then you look at the website and you're like, oh, it looks really shady. This does look
Right?
like this is the best place to buy it from. But oh, it's only £20. It's only 20 bucks.
Exactly, exactly. Do you have any stories like that?
It might turn up and it might be amazing. And then it turns out like, oh no, what did I do? Like, what was I thinking? I saw someone today who had bought what they thought was this incredibly sequined bodysuit, like sequin feather, like feather shaped sequins, and they put the picture up that they'd seen on the website, and then they put a picture up of what actually arrived, and there was not a single sequin on it. It was a sequin print of
Oh my
it
gosh.
looked hideous, and the colours were wrong and everything, and I was just wow. But by the time you ship it back, it's so expensive, and their returns policies are terrible. So they just haven't. It's just
Exactly.
been done. You just yeah, all
Just
been,
take the loss.
all been there. What is the newest piece in your wardrobe? Obviously, this is new to you, not like box fresh new.
Right. What is the newest piece in my wardrobe? Well, I just made. Okay, let me show you what I just made. I have all these things hanging from all corners of my room. So I'm gonna say this is my newest piece. I'm still working on it. It's from an inflatable, like raft that I got at the bins. So it's this pullover in the same style as my Jesus print outfit. But it's this like it doesn't feel like leather, but it's like a plastic that I think is really fun. I'm still working on it, and I have this like little bow piece that I'm thinking of putting somewhere that's like the cording of the raft.
It's very Gucci. Love the Gucci style
Oh,
bag.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I will take Gucci.
that's really cool. What an amazing! I love the silhouette of that, but also I think it's really interesting how the materials that you work with, the way that their structure is, it's so different to what you would typically find like in store. Like the structure of that, the way that collar really stood on its own, and the whole silhouette of it is so different because of those fabrics. But I'm fascinated to know, are they hideously uncomfortable to wear? Like, are you sweating to death in there, or are you okay?
They are you got me. They're so uncomfortable to wear almost all the time. The insides, I feel like a lot of people who sew will tell you like the outside is everything. The inside could be a little messy from time to time. I'm still learning how to sew, so the insides are rough, and then the actual wearing of it is also rough because usually I'm making these to go to an event, so I don't have time to put in lining. And if it's for me, like I'll take the pain, just for the look. So this one is brutal to wear. The trampoline jacket, forget about it. I was being like scratched up, like left and right. I was like red all over. Um, but yeah, my outfits and we have a lot of battles, and they usually win by the end of the night.
But I would like to say though, even very premium fashion can be super brutal to wear. I found the most beautiful silver dress from Mulberry in their sample sale. And so it
Mhm.
was a runway piece. I think originally it was about £1,800. So it was quite an
Wow.
expensive dress. I bought it at sample sale. I think I got it for like 80 or 90. So really good price. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
It's made of this sort of weird velvet that is brutal. So if I wear it, all the undersides of my arms, where it rubs against the dress as I move, just get scratched to ribbons.
Oh,
It's so brutal. I was like, if I had spent £1,800 on
no
this
way.
dress and it shredded my body, I would be livid. I'm kind of cross that I spent like £80, £90 on it and it does it. But it is just so yeah, you're all right. Just because you're making crazy things from home doesn't mean that they're any more or less comfortable than some of the mad,
Thank
out
you.
there. I often see people and I think they're so uncomfortable in that. Like some them on the red carpet, and you're like, "Are you really comfortable, Lady Gaga, in that meat
And they can barely walk, like
dress?"
exactly.
Yeah. Are you quite sentimental about the pieces in your wardrobe?
I am. I feel like I know if it's a hit or miss. I feel like maybe you think the same way about some of your pieces. Like this is going to be a piece that I really cherish, or like I just want to try this out and see how it goes. If there's a piece that I really love, like this Vatican outfit, I don't think I'm really ever going to get rid of this, just because the memories that are associated with it. But then there are some pieces like. Honestly, this one that I just spoke about, this one I don't know how long it's gonna last, just because it is so heavy and bulky, and that also plays a part in it because I'm moving to New York soon, and the closet space is gonna be a lot smaller, so I need to think about that as well. But are you the same way with your pieces? Do you have some that you really cherish?
Absolutely. There's definitely pieces that are so linked to certain memories that I would just never get rid of them. Whether they fit or not, I would just always, always keep hold of them. Have you ever thought with your pieces about sending them to music artists, getting them in music videos, on red carpets, that type of thing? Because I think they've just got such huge impact visually. I think they'd be amazing.
You know what? Okay, so I have thought about this. I have to be super candid though. I just feel like I'm more or less self-taught with sewing, and I feel like I would love to do that. I just feel like the pieces that I have, like they just don't have the durability. Especially with these heavier materials like a trampoline or a raft. Like the stitching is not super great. So if someone's gonna be moving around a lot, I'm a bit concerned if they may have like a potential malfunction. But as I like increase in skill and like learn techniques, I would love to do that. But it's funny you say that because I'm really interested in drag, and I have like a background of interning for a designer who worked on Drag Race and things like that. So I think my end goal would be to work for, or like at least help support queens on Drag Race and drag queens in general.
Oh my goodness, I can definitely see that. I think that would be absolutely incredible. You would nail it. I can't wait for
Thank you.
the Drag Race.
Have you ever seen like Drag Race UK or anything like that?
Love Drag Race UK.
Oh, awesome. It's one of
I
the
love
best.
it. I absolutely love it. And we've had a fabulous drag queen on here called Plastique, and we've also had a fabulous drag king, an Australian drag king called Freddie Merkin, who was,
Oh, I saw. Oh my
oh,
god, I love it.
love so much. Best wardrobes. Now, is there a piece in your wardrobe that most sums you up?
Ooh, that is a great question. Okay, yes. I think my one of my favorite pieces that I've made to this day would have to be my little heart outfit here.
I'm so glad you're going to talk about this. I saw this on your Instagram, and I really wanted you to chat about it. How good is this?
Thank you. I think this sums me up as a designer slash creative because it's a bit like whimsical and silly, but it also has a little bit of a not serious edge. But pretty much what I tried to do with this look is I tried to do classic menswear with like a campy, almost drag inspired twist. So the heart headpiece was the fun part, and then I did like a shirt and tie and pants with like red ruffles. So and it's all made from like recycled bed sheets. And then I did buy the like ruffle piece, but yeah, I think it's so fun.
You see, as a stylist, I instantly saw that on your Instagram and was like, oh my God, that would just be the best outfit for a perfume campaign. Like, it would be
Ooh.
so good, a fabulous perfume campaign, and you with the heart, and I loved it. It's brilliant. But I think you're right. It's definitely a real representation of you. It's got that fun, it's got that creativity, it's all of the things that you like to make and create, and that real kind of quite maverick styling, which I think is just brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Now, I imagine if you've listened to Off the Hanger or watched Off the Hanger, you know that I am a little bit of a disaster and I regularly have fashion faux pas and wardrobe malfunctions. Now, I'm hoping for big things from your story because you've got some quite interesting pieces that you wear, and I can't imagine that you're getting through life without any wardrobe malfunctions.
You got me. You got me again. I think the most well-known wardrobe malfunction in my mind is a few years ago. I first got to study abroad in Milan, and it was my first time ever leaving the country. So I brought my sewing machine and everything like that. I was so ready to be like a fashion content creator in Milan and just live that fantasy. But it just it just was not in the cards for me at that time. So basically, I did try though. So I bought fabric. I was on a shoestring budget again, so I bought the cheapest lining fabric. I was like, I'm gonna make some really cool pants and do like a pink train, and then do like flowers in the train, and it'll be like really cool with like a white shirt. So I tried making it, and I realized I left all my patterns at home. So I don't know how to pattern on my own. So I was already on the struggle bus trying to like trace a pair of pants, it was already not going well. However, I really decided to just commit and I was like, no one knows me here, so I'm just gonna go for it. So to make a long story short, I could not afford a car to the show, so I took the train to the show, and my train on my outfit was getting really messy on that train on the subway of Milan, and it got filthy. Like all the pink was like brown, the flowers were falling off. It got like caught on the door, so it was like shredding. It was just awful. I was like holding back tears. And the show is in like the outskirts of the city. I think it was the Prada show. So I go outside the show and like everyone's there and it's super packed and everyone is stepping on my
Oh no.
train just trying to like get a shot of all the celebrities walking in. And it was really cool to be there, but I was struggling. So after the show starts, the crowd dies down because the show's starting. But I was like thinking like the paparazzi's probably going to be outside like taking some pictures of the people who are waiting to get in the show, right? This is my moment. So I was like, let me like confidently walk down the street and see what they say. And this reporter came up to me, sure enough, and he started speaking to me in Italian. And I speak Italian okay now, but back then even worse, and I had no idea what he was saying. So I was just trying to go along with it, just smiling and just saying like, yeah, see, yeah. And okay, so he didn't say what he was doing with the interview, and he just walked away. So I was like, "Wow, like maybe it's not that bad of an outfit. I think I've got it." So, I don't think anything of it. And then a few months later, I'm sitting in my bed, and someone sends me a video, and they're like, "Is this you?" And I click on the video, and it's like it translates to like the fails of Fashion Week, like a daily dose of Fashion Week. And he pretty much was talking really bad about me, like, to my face, and I just was like, "Yeah, yeah." He was like he was saying, like, "You clearly, like, don't know how to make pants," and all these things, so he was really roasting me, and, honestly, I loved it.
Oh my god. Oh, that is so good that you took that well because you could have taken that really badly. But also, like, that's so shady of him because he clearly
Right?
knew that you didn't understand. Because I guarantee, had you have understood, he wouldn't have come at you in that way because he doesn't know how you're going to take that. You could have decided just to knock him out. Like,
True, true.
like that way. It's just rude. It was very unnecessary. I am a huge believer in I like really hate the worst dress lists, the roasting, the like, have you seen this celebrity on the red carpet? These are the five worst people at the Oscars. All of that is really like it gives me the ick. I really hate all of that. I think those people have looked in the mirror and gone, I like this. This looks cool. This is what I'm going to leave the house in. I'm happy in this. So who are we to go, no, that looks rubbish? Like,
Exactly.
awesome.
As a stylist, I'm curious, like, as a stylist, like, do you ever have that moment with a client where they're really feeling themselves and then, like, they get, like, a bad reception and then you have to, like, navigate that?
So I don't tend to do red carpet styling. I tend to work more on photo shoots and kind of TV commercials and adverts and that type of thing. So that isn't
Mhm.
something that I do. I would still be like, if I had dressed somebody and they got roasted, I would still stand firm with those fashion choices and just be like,
Good.
did you like the
I
outfit? Good, because that's all that matters. All that matters is that you liked what you were wearing, and who cares what the blooming Daily Mail say? Like, do you know what I mean? I
Exactly.
just think, and all of those kind of like websites and TikToks and things where they're ripping people apart and like, no, stop it. That's gross. You shouldn't do that. Because I think,
Exactly.
firstly, that person liked that thing, but also we've all had a bad day. We've all had bad days where we've put on something that isn't quite right. And also, from your point of view, you were still learning.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was definitely a bit crushing, but like I learned really quickly to like take the humor of it and just it's just like a funny moment. But yeah, I love what you just said though because it really does mean a lot. Like what we wear says so much about ourselves and like it's really our armor. Like I know people say that a lot, but I really believe that. So as a stylist, like you helping people to really find their aesthetic and like what makes them feel good is the biggest thing at the end of the day.
Exactly, it is. It's about finding those pieces that make you feel incredible, regardless of what other people think about them. Definitely. Well, get off my high horse for a moment. Now, is there a dream fashion item? In fact, actually, I'm changing this question. There's going to be two parts to this question for you. So, firstly, is there a dream fashion item that you would love to own? You can have it irrespective of cost, price, or practicality. And then my second part of the question is going to be, is there a dream material that you would love to find in that dollar bin? And what?
Ooh. Ooh. I love these questions. Okay, I'm gonna answer the material first. I think I really want to get into working with feathers, um, which aren't that expensive, so I should just pay for them. But they actually can add up. Every year for Pride, I really like to do a big Pride look. So in the past, I've done like a disco theme, like a cowboy theme. I always try and do like a theme. So this year, I'm actually inspired again, like by Drag Race, by Lavoie from Drag Race UK, and she had this wild feathered headpiece. I'll have to send you a photo later. It was like giving carnival. It was just so cool. So I'm really trying to create that for Pride, like this massive feather headpiece. This is like I didn't tell anyone this yet. This is my idea. So hopefully it comes out well. There's still some time, but yeah. So I'd really love to find some feathers in the bins because I think they're so fun to work with. And then a dream fashion item that I'd like to own. I think, like, honestly, any designer piece, like, I don't own any designer piece, but I really worship a lot of these brands, like, especially, like, Jeremy Scott Moschino. I love Jeremy Scott. He's one of my inspirations, so I think having any piece of his, whether it be an accessory or a piece of clothing, I would just love that.
Oh, well, hopefully you'll get one day. You might even find one in a thrift store.
Right?
You saw one of
Probably,
our
yeah.
previous episodes where it was lovely Christina, and she had gone thrifting and she found a Chanel handbag for $7.
Oh my God.
And when she then got it valued, she took it to Chanel because the clasp was broken and said, "Oh, I want to have this fixed." And they said, "Oh, we can't fix it here, but we can send it to Paris for you." So her bag got sent to Paris to have a new clasp fitted, and then it came back, and then she had it valued, and it was worth over $7,000.
Oh my
I know,
gosh.
honestly, unreal. So
Wow.
you need to
Wow.
find the Moschino out there. Now, finally, what is a piece of fashion advice that you would have given to your younger self?
I would have told my younger self to just go for it. It's the most basic advice, but it's the one that's the hardest to swallow for me. And I feel like a lot of people, growing up in a more like suburban hometown, I feel like I didn't always get to express myself through clothing, and it's something that took me a long time to really push. Honestly, it was when I moved to London and really embraced like the UK's queer culture. I was an intern there for like 6 months, and it really was life changing for me. Um, because I was surrounded by so many people who just really pushed fashion to the edge. It was that East London, spunk and grit that I just really loved. So it was really inspiring to me, and I feel like when I came back from that trip, it was just such a turning point for me, and it was when I really wanted to like play with fashion and not just admire it and just really try my best to see what I could do with it and really push the boundaries. So I think that wearing these things in public is like exposure therapy for me in the best way, and it's really fun, honestly, and the feedback is usually really great, and if it's not, then I don't care because I'm really proud of what I made and I feel good in it. Just like you're a stylist and you want your clients to feel good, it's the exact same way. So I would just say push the boundaries and have fun. Like it's fashion is serious, but it's also not supposed to be that serious because at the end of the day, it's what we wear on our bodies, and it's how you represent yourself. So I don't want to come off as a super serious person. I want to have a little sense of fun with my style. So I think that that is what I would want to do.
That is excellent advice. And I love that. I do think that when you see somebody who is dressed in something that is that little bit different, or something that's really kind of a bit wild or bright or colourful, you gravitate towards those people because you're like, I bet they're fun. I bet they're fun. I bet they're a really
Right?
fun person, because they're not just going, right, well, I'm going to wear the really boring plain clothes. I'm going to wear something that's super fun and exciting. And that's how I'm going to tell the world that actually, I'm a really fun person. Come chat to me.
You know what? It's so funny you say that because I really have found that that's true. So after I graduated school, like I started going to some events in New York City, and I started wearing these pieces, like just to try and see what would happen. And I wear them to networking events, because I thought it would be like a strategy of some sort. Honestly, like I think it would be easier for people to come up to me because it's a conversation starter, and it always has worked. It has never failed. When I wear one of my own pieces, I always leave with a few new friends.
You see, I'm exactly the same. I am naturally an introvert, especially at like networking and things where I don't know anybody. So I will dress in something that is either bright or a little bit over the top, or something
I love that.
overdressed, because I know that somebody will talk to me about my clothes, and that's my safety zone. So once you've started talking to me about my outfit and I've chatted to you about your outfit, I can move on to any other topic. Then it's going to be absolutely fine, because we've broken the ice with something that I'm comfortable with. Going
Hmm.
cold in a really like plain outfit and try and talk to people, I'd be like, nope, I cannot do it.
Exactly. No, we cracked the code.
Smashed it, whether we did it intentionally or not. We the code. Oh, it has been so lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much for showing me around your wardrobe. It's been brilliant.
Thank you so much. This has been incredible. You've been such an amazing host.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed that chat. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, follow, leave a rating. Oh, a comment. I spotted on Spotify the other day that I have a little comment section that I've never really used. So put a comment if you're listening or watching on Spotify. That'd be cool. But thank you so much. It really does help when I am booking more guests for the podcast. See you soon.